Hello everyone. Okay. Hi. Okay. Take 2. Take 3. So today, sorry y'all, I'm like out here with the bees and the wasps, so I might have to go in, but the lighting was just so great. And you know, I'm dressed so nice because I had my internship today that I just felt like, you know, this is the right time to do this video, and I want to do it outside with nice lighting and everything seemed all peaceful. Hi everyone. So I wanted to create a video that kind of just, you know, either is going to give advice or kind of motivate or inspire individuals. Sometimes we hear things and it just takes like hearing it one more time. It just takes hearing it from like a different person to really kind of believe like the message and kind of believe it for yourself. So I feel like, you know, I'm going to do some of these just motivational things on Mondays to kind of either, you know, lead like a possible, like a positive kind of take on the week, or it could just kind of help those who didn't really have a good Monday. Because Mondays, I mean, we all hate Mondays, and I mean, they could just, you know, Mondays, you're not motivated on Mondays, you know, you're coming from the weekend, or you had a bad Monday. And so, you know, some people having like a really, really bad, you know, Monday, or having like a really, really bad time out of the day kind of ruins their whole day, and it kind of just, they think that it's going to ruin their whole week, like the whole week's going to be bad. I'm hoping that I will inspire someone, motivate, encourage someone. I mean, that is my plan. And while I'm talking to you guys, I'm also kind of motivating and inspiring myself. The topic for this message is going to be encouragement. Just how to like encourage yourself to not be discouraged. And you know what's so funny is I was like, okay, well, this is what I'm gonna talk about. And like today I was telling one of my friends like how I was feeling at my internship, just how like I felt like, you know, I'm low-key kind of a perfectionist, and I like to just have things right, and I like to just know that, you know, like I'm doing good. Like I did this like little checklist, like I'm checking things off my checklist, like, okay, I did this right, you know, I'm moving on up. And then I kind of feel like when, you know, I get critiqued on something, or something doesn't go exactly as planned, or something isn't perfect, I feel like, you know, I was up here, like all those checks put me up here, and then now I'm you know, down here, and I'm like, dang, you know, I thought I was one step closer to being perfect. I thought I was, you know, one step closer to mastering, you know, my certain responsibilities, you know, of being at my internship. But I was telling one of my friends that, you know, I'm like, man, it's like, you know, every time I think that I'm like close to you know, to just getting everything right, it doesn't seem like it doesn't go that way. And he was just like, you know, don't get discouraged, you know, just you doing the best you can, you're learning every day, everything that's like that. And I was like, wow, you know, he was telling me not to be discouraged, and that was what I wanted to share with everyone else. And look at me like getting discouraged, you know, feeling like, you know, I can never get things right. It's so easy to get discouraged. It's so easy to be negative about certain things that are going on, and it's much harder to kind of encourage yourself to be persistent, to encourage yourself to keep going forward. And I think sometimes we just need to praise ourselves for the things that we did do, for where we did come. So like, for example, like you know, my internship, you know, I've been there for, you know, this whole semester. You know, what I could do is I could applaud myself for how much I have learned and how far I have come, than to let one little moment, one little, you know, one day ruin, you know, all of this progress I made. And I think that just, you know, it's for everyone. We need to learn how to like pat ourselves on the back. It kind of reminds me of the gospel song Encourage Yourself by the Tri-City Singers. Pretty much that song, I mean, that's a good like song spiritually, but it's a good just song in general for anybody who needs like a little a little, motivation, and pretty much the song just talks about, encourage yourself, speak over yourself, like positive things, pat yourself on the back. And I mean, I think that's just something that we can take, from the song. And some things that I do is I look at all the places that I want to be in life. I have all these interests. I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this when I graduate, I want to get in this, and sometimes it gets a little discouraging when you don't know how long it's going to take you to get there. I think one of the problems that I have is I compare myself to people like who are already there. So like if, someone is where I want to be, if someone's, working in a certain profession that I want to eventually work in, and I see, well, wow, it took them that long to get there, or some of them just have it easy and it's just through the people they know and they're already there. And sometimes when I try to compare myself to them, I get discouraged because I'm like, well, geez, like it took them that long to get there, it might take me even longer to get there. Or man, I don't have all these connections that they have. How am I going to get there? And I think what I have to realize is I can't, my journey is not going to be like theirs. I can't compare myself to someone who's already there. I have to realize that maybe God doesn't want my journey to be like theirs. God has a plan for each of our lives. I believe that he already has everything designed, everything planned, all these different desires that we have in our lives, all these different purposes that we, are placed here on this earth for. He has a certain way of how we're supposed to get there. Everybody's journey is meant to be different. How people accomplish their goals are gonna be different from how you accomplish your goals. So, I'm sitting here letting myself get discouraged because I see other people who are already successful and I'm trying to compare myself to them. But maybe God wants to take me through a different path. Maybe God wants to take me through a different journey, and maybe my journey might be longer, but it's going to be worth it when I get there. And so I think a lot of times we compare ourselves to others, and then it starts to get a little discouraging. But if we just kind of focus on ourselves and focus on all the things that we have done and focus and kind of just create plans on where we want to go, then I think that we can stay on the right track and stay motivated and stay encouraged. It is hard, but you can do it, and you can get to where you want to go, and just keep the faith, stay positive, stay encouraged. I know sometimes it might seem like you have many setbacks. There's just a lot of things that are trying to keep you behind than going forward. But like I said, just look at all the good that you have done. Look at all the things that you have accomplished up until this point. And to just keep trying to motivate yourself to get better. I mean, the only way that you're going to get to where you want to go is if you try. If you continue to stay positive, if you continue to keep doing the things that you need to do to get you where you need to go. I think it's really, really important to have that, to be able to pat yourself on your back, and praise yourself for all the things that you have done, and then find ways to motivate yourself to keep going forward. A lot of things that help me is, I pray. I'm, very spiritual. I talk to God in my car, talk to him in the shower, any place that I'm, alone and I feel like, I can really get all my thoughts out. So he helps me stay encouraged, every single day. But, I'm also a very positive person. And all those, characteristics of being positive, looking at life in an optimistic way, and all of those things can really help. It may be harder for others to encourage themselves than it is for some people, but I'm here to say that you can do it. I'm here to say that you have a plan for your life. You have things that you want to do, things that you want to accomplish, things that you want to get through. You can do it. It may take you a little more time than it took, your best friend, or it might take you a little more time than it took Billy Bob, but it can happen. If you want that for your life, it can happen. It's just so hard, you know, being young, being a college student, you know, either, you know, working a ton to pay for your school and all the other bills that you have, or, you know, or if you're, you know, working to help out your family, or if, you know, what other stress, you know, shoot. Your race could be a stress. Your gender could be a stress. Shoot, you've been in school for more than 4 years, that could be a stress. If you do a bunch of extracurricular activities, all those are stressors. But you have to continue to motivate yourself and encourage yourself to keep pushing forward. And you have to learn that everything's not going to be perfect. You're not, every day is not going to be perfect. Every day is not going to go your way. You know, there will be things that might set you back. You know, that might, but you have to keep pressing forward. And it's all just a learning process. You know, I think that everything happens for a reason, good or bad. And I just think that if you are discouraged for a little moment, let that be temporary, and find ways to encourage yourself and motivate yourself to get back on track and get to that ultimate goal that you were meant to get to. So I really hope that this encouraged someone, inspired someone. I'm just here to, you know, maybe doing a lot of these videos, it's gonna help someone. Okay, I mean, we all go through things, no matter what age, no matter what race. We all go through things, and sometimes we do need a message to kind of just help us through the day, help us through the week. You know, I'm no expert. You know, I don't have all the answers, but I hope that this helped someone who might have been struggling with, you know, encouragement. I just want to reach someone. It's just something that I'm passionate about, speaking out about, and yeah, so I hope you liked the video. There will be more.